For close to a quarter century, the hallowed hills of Spirit Mountain in Duluth signal the start of the Snocross season. For the world's greatest snowcross racers, another campaign begins, and Spirit Mountain awaits their charge.
Who is excited for racing tonight?
Strap in! AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram is next. Welcome to Duluth, Minnesota, round one of AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram. The AMSOIL Snowcross National at Spirit Mountain, a record crowd on hand to witness this first round of the 2015-2016 season, and a fantastic track awaits the greatest snowcross racers in the world. Mike Schroeder, my name is Chris Hockey, and we are going to bring you live coverage all year long of the greatest snowmobile racers in the world. It all started right here in Duluth, though, last night with a special race we call the AMSOIL Dominator.
Go green, and here we go.
We are green for the first time this year, and Tucker Hibbert takes the lead. Up the hill they go. Inside looks Tucker Hibbert. He bounces off of him. Can't make the move as they head up the hill. The Air Force flyaway. It's Tremblay in the lead.
Tremblay's got the preferred line right here. Look at him. And
Boxes him out.
He did, but it was clean. That's the
Absolutely.
big thing. Good racing. Tucker pushed it a little bit, but he wasn't close enough to make the pass.
Tucker looks to the inside.
He's going to try square underneath him.
Tremblay holds him off through the dogleg and down the hill. It's Tremblay. It's Hibbert. It's a drag race. And Tim Tremblay holds off Tucker Hibbert. You see the lead right there is Dave Jonas. This would be quite the upset if he can hang on. Tremblay to the inside. It's a drag race up the back of the hill. Here comes Tremblay.
Here he comes.
We've got a new leader with half a lap to go.
I think the big Canadian got a little upset there.
Around the dogleg and down the hill comes Tremblay for the win. It takes everything he has. 15 AMSOIL Dominator has gone green. Pauline, Ross Martin, Pauline with that whole shot. Here comes Tremblay.
Tremblay on the inside.
How did that happen?
Is the three-peat about to show us the way?
$10,000 one lap away for Tim Tremblay. Over the Air Force flyaway one final time.
Half a lap left to go. Around the corner, he'll come down the Ram runaway. Trying to catch him. It ain't gonna happen. It's three-peat, baby.
Tim Tremblay on the number 11 over the AMSOIL finish line will win the 2015 AMSOIL Dominator in comeback fashion from the back row to the $10,000 check. Tim Tremblay has done it here in Duluth tonight.
What a great way to start the season. Now you see it, Tim Tremblay won from the wild card. How did he get the wild card, Mike?
Well, the process was to eliminate the drivers. 16 started. You went from 16 to 8, 8 to 4. And then, of course, there were two semifinals. Each of the semifinals produced a winner. That was Kyle Pauline and Ross Martin. They were in the final. You took the two losers from those semifinals, which would have been Tucker Hibbert and Tim Tremblay. They raced each other. Tremblay won that. He ended up as the wild card, started in the back row. As they started, and Tremblay just was like he was launched out of a cannon. This is a sprint, and Tucker is used to racing those longer races. And, of course, Tucker not doing well here. He was in, of course, the last chance qualifier didn't make it. Tremblay winning from the back row.
But last year he was dominant again. Let's take a look and see how he won his 9th championship. The Snowcross party kicked off with the AMSOIL Dominator. One-on-one racing for 10 grand.
Now your 2014 AMSOIL Dominator champion, Tim Tremblay.
Round 3 and 4, it was TGIF. Thank goodness it's Fargo. Big Air will get you there. Launching Logan Christian, he knows, with 130-foot plus leaps of faith.
Wow, that's Big Air.
Canterbury Park, the Daytona of Snowcross, featured cold temps but hot racing.
And we are green in second heat. Down the stretch they come.
As Ross the Boss Martin stepped up his game.
The front, another pass.
Wow, what a pass. Set him up perfect for that turn. Was able to cut right under Tim Tremblay.
The Old West came alive as Skidoo racer Elias Ishoel was deputized by Deadwood legends. In an absolutely legendary performance, Tucker Hibbert went from worst to first. He rebounded from his first turn crash, rose from the carnage, and picked his way through the pack and into the record books forever with Pro National Victory number 100. A big track and heaps of fun, just part of the scene at Soaring Eagles Ram Truck Snocross National. A packed house in Michigan's #1 resort and casino saw a clean sweep for Ryan Springer. The season wrapped up in Wisconsin on the ski hills of Grand Geneva. In Pro Light, Ryan Springer's dream season ended on top of the box, from rookie to champ. And in Pro Open, the legend only grows larger. Tucker Hibbert continued his winning ways. Many questions remain for this season, and some of the answers will be found near Lake Superior at Spirit Mountain in Duluth. So there you have it, a recap of a great season, but the results were the same. Mike, Tucker Hibbert, your champion.
You know, the thing you have to look here, though, Tim Tremblay, Kyle Pauline, you take and even look at Cody Cam, some of those guys injured last year, so they weren't really able to be competitive to really push Tucker the way that people should push Tucker. It's a new year. It's going to be interesting to see how these drivers rebound, some of them with new teams, some of them on new sleds. I'm excited.
Yeah, the young dogs are hungry. Cody Cam, Kyle Pauline, Tim Tremblay, so many young racers who want to unseat the 9-time champion Tucker Hibbert, and it all starts here tonight in Duluth. Tucker Hibbert, the aforementioned 9-time champion, is with Carly Applin.
Tucker, let's talk about this new rule for qualifying. What are your thoughts on this rule?
It's interesting for sure. I mean, it's going to be something different for us. The change is something we've never seen before, so it's going to definitely, show us something different, I guess. But we'll see how it plays out. I'm not too sure if I like it yet, but it's the same for everyone, and we're just here to race, so we'll go out there and do the best we can no matter what.
And we're back for another season. This is just round 1. You're going for your 10th national title. How does that feel?
It makes me feel old, I guess. It's I think this is my 13th year at Duluth, so it's been a long time, just coming to this race. Even before I was racing as a kid with my dad, just watching him race and hanging out in the pit. So it's pretty cool to be back again and having the opportunity to keep racing and doing what I love. And I feel as good as ever. So I'm ready to take on the season, and we're shooting for that 10th title. So we'll see how it goes.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you,
guys.
Great job as always, Carly, and thank you, Tucker. He mentioned the new rules right there, and a lot of people saying they were specifically created to try to keep Tucker from another championship, but the bottom line is this: everybody's got to compete the same way, and the starting line is very important at every racetrack, especially here in Duluth.
A race is a race, and of course the big thing is that these drivers are going to find that there's a little different point value in the heat races. The big thing that they're going to find, if you really technically qualify number 1, you're going to have the number 10 pick on the line. That number 10 qualifier is going to have the first pick on the line. So really they're inverting the way that they line up on the line.
Pro qualifier number 1 is next from Duluth. This is AMSOIL Championship Snocross powered by Ram on the CBS Sports Network.
AMSOIL Championship Snocross on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Ram. Guts, glory, Ram. By GoPro, be a hero. And by Arctic Cat, share our passion.
And the Christmas colors are shining in Duluth, Minnesota, the lovely town of Duluth, ready for the holiday season, and the fans here at Spirit Mountain ready for the first night of racing of this brand new AMSOIL Championship Snocross powered by Ram season. A great racetrack, Mike, and I'll tell you what, I can't wait to see these racers get on it and go for speed. In fact, let's take a GoPro lap of the day. Mike, take us around this racetrack.
The racetrack is really interesting in the fact that year after year it kind of stays the same. It depends upon how much snow, but here we are going up the back part of the racetrack. Now it's very technical. You've got a couple of whoop parts, and then of course the big Air Force flyaway. That takes you into the top part of the racetrack. There's 2 defined lines, and outside and inside. Some people sometimes find the outside faster. It'll be interesting to see. Down the downhill, we come across the AMSOIL finish line. Then there's a couple of whoops. Now this is where a lot of passing is going to take place. Coming out of 1, transitioning into 2, and that's where the start goes. Now you're on the back part of the racetrack again. Very slight technical as you go back uphill.
Over the Air Force flyaway, 25 degrees and a heavy wind.
John Stenberg, of course, the Norwegian driver out of Warner Racing on the Skidoo. Darren Mees. Then you got Stanfenberg, Cody Camp, Colby Crapo coming back and racing with us. It will be Tucker Hibbert, Ross Martin, Corin Todd, and Andy Leaders racing as an independent this year, also on a Polaris.
And we are racing in Duluth. Up the hill they go through the dogleg. 9 sleds try to make their way through, and almost making it through cleanly, but we lost one racer at the bottom of the hill.
Well, you watched it, Tucker trying to take the outside. Look who was able to rail over and take away the line. Cody Cam, your early race leader. Right behind him, is that Tucker Hibbert? We will know shortly. That is the 287. That would machine Saftenberg.
That's exactly right. He was the racer who went off right at the starting line. Here comes your leader, though. That's Cody Cam. He'll have to slow down to make his way through and get back on the gas now. But a sizable lead for Cody Cam over Ross Martin and John Stenberg. Tucker Hibbert was scored on that first lap all the way back in 8th place. Cody Cam trying to run away and high right now.
Well, we'll see if Tucker can work his way back up. But as you indicated, Cam with almost a 2-second lead over the field. Now, that yellow may have shaken that up a little bit. We'll watch them as they come back around down that Ram runaway to complete another lap here in just a couple of moments, and we'll set the order.
I'm going to tell you right now, Cody Cam, Ross Martin, and John Stenberg all the way out there, but I believe Tucker Hibbert must have been involved in that first accident because he's way behind the field right now. We'll get more information on that as we go. Meanwhile, up front, there he is, Cody Cam. The 53 has been fast day in and day out for years here in Snocross right now. He just ran a 26.994. He is really railing it through this track here in Duluth right now. Cam, Martin, and Stenberg, 1, 2, and 3 as Cody Cam goes through that cat corner up top. Right there again, as you see over the Air Force flyaway, Cody Cam right there into the FXR turn. A 27-second lap, and right now a 4-second lead for Cody Cam.
Now they're yellow out, so we've got a problem up at the top of the hill.
Cody Cam over the Air Force flyaway. You saw him check up a little bit there and not get enough air to make it cleanly through the Air Force flyaway, but it doesn't slow him up too much. Cody Cam back on the gas and headed down the hill towards that AMSOIL finish line to put another lap in the books. There's Tucker Hibbert right now being scored in, I believe, 4th place. So making his way through the field, here comes Tucker Hibbert. Last night in the Dominator, things didn't go as well as he would like, but he's back on the gas now and trying to reel in that man, the 53 and your leader, Cody Cam, here in this first qualifier.
Cam looking strong, as you indicated. We watched Tucker Hibbert. Hibbert involved early on in an incident, and Hibbert up into 5th place as we speak. He's trying to make his way to gain more points, and we'll talk about the points because that's a big change this year as to the way they're going to line up in the final, about the way they collect points during these qualifiers. Cody Cam right now, though, out in front.
Out of Kenosha, Wisconsin, Cody Cam is your leader, but Tucker Hibbert continues to try to reel him in.
Trying to get around Cody Thompson.
And he will do it over the Air Force flyaway. You give him laps, he's going to find a way. Bumping and banging at the top of the hill. Cody Thompson's not going to give it up easy. It's a drag race towards the AMSOIL finish line.
Boy, Cody, you know, used to race as an Arctic Cat driver, now racing as an independent. He wanted to show Tucker that, hey, you know what, I'm still a good driver here, even though as I am racing as an independent. Well, Tucker gets around him, so Tucker now sitting in 4th, and he's about 13 seconds out of the lead. So Cody Cam continues to put distance between he and Ross Martin and the rest of the field.
Meanwhile, Tucker Hibbert sets his sights on John Stenberg. That's the sled right in front of him there, who's sitting in 3rd. Ross Martin in 2nd, Cody Cam in 1st. But here comes Tucker trying to find his way around Stenberg. He goes to the inside. There's a lap sled right there. Tucker takes it to the inside and makes the pass on the lapper and John Stenberg.
Boy, he made it, took advantage of that sled being in the way. That was the 287 of Stanfenberg. Stanfenberg was down low. It didn't give the drivers an opportunity to go low. Tucker took it to the outside, Sandberg really was fighting to try to find a line, and Tucker gets around him.
Tucker Hibbert comes towards that AMSOIL finish line. 1 lap to go, and he's made his way to third. Meanwhile, at the top in the cat corner, there's the man who's dominated this Pro Open qualifier. He makes the dogleg and hangs towards that AMSOIL finish line. Your winner of this Pro Open qualifier, Cody Cam. We'll take a break and come right back and talk to our winner, the 53 of Cody Cam. After a short break, this is AMSOIL Snocross National from Spirit Mountain. AMSOIL Championship Snocross, powered by Ram. And we are racing in Duluth.
Cody Cam continues to put distance between he and Ross Martin and the rest of the field.
Here's the man who's dominated this Pro Open qualifier. He makes the dogleg and hangs towards that AMSOIL finish line. Your winner of this Pro Open qualifier, Cody Cam.
Congratulations, Cody. How important is it to get out front on this track very early? You took a huge lead right away.
Definitely the start is really important. Being in the heat races, the track's always smooth and there's not a lot of lines out there, so getting the whole shot definitely helps a ton.
Is there a new feel to this Polaris sled?
Yeah, the new Polaris is awesome. It's one of my favorite sleds so far and just helps you turn a lot better, and I'm really happy with it.
Congratulations. Back to you guys.
So here's how they finished. Cody Cam, your winner. Mike, a good race for him.
Oh, no doubt. You know, he coming off an injury last year, raced towards the end of the year.
Again, Cody Cam with a big win. We'll break and come right back with more action from AMSOIL's Snocross National at Spirit Mountain in Duluth, Minnesota. Welcome back to Duluth, Minnesota, the AMSOIL Snocross National at Spirit Mountain, the first round of AMSOIL Championship Snocross powered by Ram for this season. Mike Schroeder, Chris Hockey, and Carly Applin bringing you coverage here from Duluth of some great racing action, and we are almost ready for the feature race of the Pro Light Division, Mike. It's a great action-packed front row.
Yeah, they will, of course, see Zach Mason as your #1 qualifier. Zach out of Gaylord, Michigan, racing this year with Levi Lavallee Racing. He is your #1 qualifier. Then you've got Montana Jess on an Arctic Cat, Maxine Telfair on a Skidoo, Daniel Benham, the #4 qualifier on the 221 Arctic Cat, Kevin Wallenstein on a Skidoo, Travis Muller, one of the K2 racing sleds, his teammate right next to him. There you see Johnston and Angove. Then you go to the back row, and maybe a couple of surprises here.
Absolutely. Down on the starting line, Carly Applin's ready to go racing. Carly?
Mike, you mentioned #1 qualifier Zach Mason. He made some big changes in the offseason, moving from Leighton Motorsports to Team Lavallee. He said working with co-owner Levi Lavallee has been very beneficial. Physically, they are actually pretty much the same size. I think Levi's about a half-inch taller. He said it's very beneficial because he can help him adjust his riding style and help him break some of those bad habits, and it seems to be very successful. We'll see how he goes tonight. Guys?
As you can see them spread across right there, and the 5 sleds behind them waiting to see who goes where. We've got 10 sleds on the front row, and somebody had broken the light, but they're back behind the light again, and we are ready to go racing the Pro Light Division from Duluth, Minnesota. It's in the starters' hands. And they're racing in Duluth. 15 sleds into turn 1.
Your #1 qualifier lined up right in the middle, got pushed out just a little bit, so he is going to slot back to about 4th place. You see some Arctic Cats up front. Is that Montana Jess?
I believe Montana Jess got the Stud Boy Whole Shot Award and right now has the lead as they head down the hill for the first time.
And right behind him, the number 221, that's Daniel Benham. Benham racing as a factory Arctic rider this year. So Arctic Cat with a couple of sleds up front, 1 and 2. Then you've got Cole Coutu, first year as a Pro Light rider, sitting in 3rd place.
Montana Jess and Daniel Benham are battling it out up front. You can see Benham looks to the outside. Will he try a swoop move? No, he'll hang out and be patient for a moment. Meanwhile, Montana Jess out of Massachusetts is the man on the point right now.
In some of the heats, we've actually seen that top line on the top part of the racetrack be a little bit faster. We'll see if Benham keeps working it. Oh, they get together a bit.
He comes in hard right there and swaps paint, but lets off enough to let them both get out unscathed. A smart move for a young rider right there to make sure it didn't take both of them out.
Let's watch Benham now, see if he goes outside again. He does.
Extreme outside that time.
Last time, very tight between these two drivers. There you see Benham working the outside, and he's got a little smoother line initially, but it's Montana Jess. He is out front.
Again, Montana Jess is your leader. You see him just leaning real hard as they make it through the turn. Here's the whole shot. You'll see Montana Jess right there in the middle trying to get out front fast.
He was on the opposite side of the pole than your number one qualifier, Zach Mason. Just found a little bit better line. Mason slotted back, but even now, Zach Mason sitting in 5th place.
The whole shot means a lot, and it has meant the lead right now for Montana Jess. Over the AMSOIL finish line and into the FXR turn, still holding on as we are now 10 laps to go in this feature race for the Pro Light division.
Once he shook Daniel Benham's initial charge, he's now put about a 1.4 second lead between he and the rest of the field. It's a really good battle between Benham and Cole Coutu. Coutu only about 0.5 of a second behind that second place Artie Cat of Daniel Benham.
And you saw that roost hit Cole Coutu right in the face right there as Benham tries to get away from him. Your leader continues to be Montana Jess, but here is the battle for second and third. The 21 looks to the inside. Coutu tries to make a move. It won't work there.
No, it wasn't close enough, and even if he was, there could have been some pretty ugly contact there. So you watch him as he goes outside. Cole Coutu trying to run the outside. You see Benham. Benham again, now this time coming down low. Coutu right behind him.
And in the back right behind him, you might see him in a minute. That's Elias Ishul right there, who's made his way to 4th spot from the back row, and Elias Ishul is not out of this yet. Plenty of laps for the young man out of Norway.
Boy, and I'll tell you what, there's always excitement when you talk about the 200 Skidoo.
Let's go down to Carly Applin right by the racetrack. Carly?
Hey guys, joining me, Keith Musa from Cole Coutu's crew. Cole finishing 1st in the sport class last year, moving up to the Pro Light class. How's he doing out there? How have you guys prepped for this first race?
Well, he's running 3rd right now. I hope he can stay there. He's really strong. A lot of off-season training, and he's surrounded by some Pro Light veterans, so it's really been good for Cole's rookie year.
We'll let you guys get back to it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Guys?
I'm afraid we might have lost him during that interview.
Yeah,
I think Cole
jinxed him.
Coutu went off his sled while we were talking to his crew leader right there. We'll get more on that in a moment. Meanwhile, back up front, that's Montana Jess,
And
but look
who's
who's
in
right
the
behind
frame.
him. We talked about it, and he takes the lead.
Took the
Elias
line.
Ishul took the line, and he's now taken the lead.
They're still trying to get Cole Coutu's sled squared away in the top part, but they were able to get by in a yellow zone, and it is Ishul out front as he was able to get around Montana Jess. Just found the line, and this driver, you just never know where he's going to accelerate and how hard he's going to charge.
He came underneath the leader right here, did a little bit of boxing him out, but again, that's a clean move. Elias Ishul came in through the last chance qualifier. We said it during the LCQ. If there's anybody in this race that can win from the back row, it's Elias Ishul. Now, let's not count our chickens before they hatch, because this young man rides on the edge all the time. Anything can happen.
That's the thing, you know. He's out front now. Now you just got to be composed and, of course, run good lap times. You still need to be aggressive, but I mean, like that. Don't take the chance that you know you're going to crash.
I don't think you can take that out of a racer like Elias Ishul, though. The entire time, he's going to be riding on the edge, especially when you've got somebody in front of him who you're not racing for position, who's not getting out of his way. He finally does, and our leader gets away from him. Elias Ishul, it was right here in Duluth last year that we had his coming out party. The world got to know Elias Ishul here 1 year ago, and we're seeing why again right here tonight in Duluth. Here's your battle for second and third, Mike.
Couple of those skidoos again. They got Montana Jess, who was up front for quite a while, still sitting in second place. And then the 221 Artie Cat of Daniel Benham. There's about a half a second between those two guys. You see Benham trying to find lines to get around Montana Jess. And, you know, both these guys a little frustrated, I would presume, being that the 200 Skidoo was able to find lines and just kind of blast around them.
This battle hasn't changed since the very beginning of the race. The only thing that did change was the fact that Elias Ishul blew by both of them on his way to the lead here in the Pro Light Final in the first round of Duluth. The battle continues for second between Montana Jess and Daniel Benham, but there is is your leader on that Makita sled, headed towards the AMSOIL finish line to put another lap in the books. The number 200 out of Norway, that would be Elias Eschwell on the Skidoo for Makita GMC and NSK.
Watch him as he goes around, continuing to count down laps. A couple of laps left to go. He goes up the back part of the racetrack, and, you know, as we've said, every time you just don't know which line he's going to take. Into that corner, stays up high, ramps around that number 21 sled. That, of course, Cole Coutu, who was running so well, then had the ugly off, now sitting back in 15th place.
Down the hill he comes. He looks over his shoulder. Your leader, Elias Eschwell, takes the white flag. 1 lap to go from the back row through the LCQ to the final, and in the lead right now in Duluth. Elias Eschwell, up the hill he goes one final time. Headed for the Air Force flyaway. Keeps her low to the ground this time.
I was going to say, it looks like he checked up just a little bit. Knows that he's got a pretty substantial lead. Almost 6 seconds. Just kind of holding it down a little bit. There you see one of the team members up there giving him the thumbs up. He's going to be your winner.
Down the hill comes Elias Eschwell from 11th to the win here in Duluth. Elias Eschwell has done it again in Duluth.
Second place is going to go to Montana Jess. A good run for Montana. And then third place will be Daniel Benham. Those two guys, of course, doing battle throughout most of the race.
He came from 11th for the win, and we will come back and talk to that young man about his victory. Ladies and gentlemen, this is AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram from Duluth, Minnesota. And they're racing in Duluth. 15 sleds into turn 1. He talked about it, and he takes the lead. Elias Eschwell took the line, and he's now taken the lead. Down the hill comes Elias Eschwell from 11th to the win here in Duluth. Elias Eschwell has done it again in Duluth.
Elias, congratulations. A huge way to start the season. You came from behind. How difficult is it to make your way through the pack?
I was just trying to find some good lines and run and good, and I didn't know I was in the first before I see my good mechanic Nate hold his pit board with the wall on. That was a good feeling.
Is this exactly how you would want to start the season?
Yeah, it was good.
And tell us about those track conditions out there.
The track is good. It's a little bit hard, but yeah, it's good.
Congratulations on the big win.
Thanks.
Back to you.
What a performance from Elias Eschwell and a whole host of young racers in that final.
Well, we talked about Eschwell coming from the back row before. He did it here again. You know, and look at these guys, though. You know, Montana Jess, Daniel Benham, Travis Muller, Zach Mason making a team change. That just shows that it's going to be a very, very competitive year in the Pro Light class.
Again, Elias Eschwell with the win in round 1 of the Pro Light division here in Duluth. A big win for the young man, getting things started off correctly. We'll break. We'll come back with the AMSOIL Pro Open Championship from Duluth right after this.
AMSOIL Championship Snowcross on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Polaris, Terrain Domination, by FXR, World-Class Outwear, and by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics.
A fantastic shot of the bridge here in Duluth, Minnesota, as we bring you coverage of round 1 of AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram. Mike Schroeder, Chris Hockey, coming to you live from Spirit Mountain. And again, round 1, getting the brand new season started. Tucker Hibbert has been the most dominant racer in the history of our sport, Mike, and he talked earlier to us about exactly what it means to him to be called the greatest ever.
100 feature wins for the first time in the history of AMSOIL Championship Snowcross.
To be labeled that, I mean, I don't think of myself as winning so many races or so many championships or anything like that. It's cool, but for me it's just about having fun and racing and trying to do the best that I can each race and each weekend.
The title of the greatest snowcross racer of all time, I mean, that's pretty big. But when you look at the numbers right now, Tucker's the best, and I'm not afraid to say that.
It's always just what's going on in the moment and focusing on being the best I can be, and you know, when I'm totally done racing, it'll be fun to look back and think about all the wins and records or anything like that. But for now, it's just focused on racing and enjoying it in this moment.
Boy, and it's the first time that they've set up this way. Corey Watkinson will get first pick. Adam Renheim, then Logan Christian, Kyle Pauline, Justin Broberg, Ross Martin, Tremblay, Tucker Hibbert, David Jonas, and Cody Cam tied. Of course, Jonas 9th, Cody Cam 10th. Really, if you look at the heats, both Jonas and Cam won both of their heats, but because of the new qualifying order, that's the way they line up.
The back row lines up like this, though. Peter Narsa was fast at the LCQ. He'll get that first choice in the back row. Ryan Springer, a rookie, looking for his first podium ever in the AMSOIL Pro Open class. We'll see if he can get it from the back row.
And we are racing! AMSOIL Pro Open is on the track, and Kyle Pauline has the stud boy hole shot.
Pauline in the middle of that field just found a great line up the hill. Let's see who's going with him on the outside.
Ross Martin, I think.
Is that? I believe it is Ross. And of course, Ross working with that new Artie Cat along with Kyle Pauline. Look at Martin charging on the outside. Bar to bar across the finish line.
It's Pauline, it's Ross Martin. Martin looks to the inside, tries the swoop move. They trade paint. Pauline to the outside, Martin to the lead.
Boy, did you see how he got that thing to corner around him? But look at Pauline work the outside again.
Back to the front goes Senior Smiley. Kyle Pauline in the lead on the 324. Here comes Tucker Hibberts.
Hibbert working his way up, and also in that battle, Justin Broberg. Broberg on an Artie Cat this year. Broberg sitting in third place.
The 324 of Kyle Pauline, the 68 of the 9-time champion Tucker Hibbert. The battle has begun. Can Kyle Pauline do the impossible and hold off the T-Train?
T-Train got around Ross Martin. Martin now sitting in third place. So, as you said, can Kyle Pauline hold off Tucker Hibbert? It's only about a 0.3 of a second difference between the two. Ross Martin already about a second behind Tucker Hibbert. Pauline's got to really pour it to get good lap speeds around this racetrack to hold off Tucker Hibbert.
We've seen it before. Tucker Hibbert sits back. He's patient. He waits for the right opportunity, then he makes his move. Right now, Kyle Pauline is trying to run away and hide as he heads through that cat corner in the lead. Does he know Tucker Hibbert's right behind him? You bet he does. Kyle Pauline in the front.
And as you watch him come down the hill, I think as Kyle Pauline has raced more as a pro, he's become smarter on how to race Tucker too. He knows what Tucker's going to do. You watch him, he just finds good lines. You watch this last lap, he's still 0.3 of a second faster than what Tucker was that last lap, and he was even faster than Tucker the lap before. So Kyle's doing exactly what he needs to do right now.
Team Lavallee Racing going crazy in their track right now. Meanwhile, a great battle going on back here, Mike.
Watch them as they take and come through. Tremblay was getting in the mix as he was able to get by Cody Cam. Broberg still sitting in fourth, Martin in third, but back up front, there you see T-Train, Tucker Hibbert trying to make a move, trying to get some distance between he and Kyle Pauline. And now Pauline with a 1.5 seconds. That last lap, Pauline was about 3 or 4 tenths of a second faster than Tucker Hibbert.
And Kyle Pauline continues to separate himself from Tucker Hibbert. It's not been done often, if at all, but Kyle Pauline right now is pulling away from Tucker Hibbert here in Duluth. The race is a long way from over, but you gotta like what you're seeing out of Kyle Pauline right now.
I tell you what, we're a quarter of the way done. You just got to keep doing like I said. He has learned how to take and race Tucker Hibbert. Now he just needs to put it together on the racetrack, and he's doing a great job. Now that last lap, they were just about even. So again, Kyle Pauline still about 1.4 seconds ahead of Tucker Hibbert.
The preferred line is his, and he's choosing so wisely right now is young Kyle Pauline.
And the plus for Kyle Pauline yet is that he's not in lap traffic. Once he gets up to the lappers, that is when Tucker's going to try to capitalize. Tucker paying close attention. Now there is Ross Martin. Martin's still sitting in third, but Broberg trying to run him down on an Artie Cat.
Look who has reeled in your leader. Again, it's Kyle Pauline to the inside. Tucker Hibbert over the AMSOIL finish line, takes the lead. But just for a second, Pauline has the inside. Who will win the drag race up the hill? Pauline back to the lead.
It was Pauline, and that last lap, Tucker was a second faster than Kyle Pauline. So Tucker, you talked about the patience. Tucker watched and he charged. Now look at him, he's going to try to come underneath Kyle Pauline again. Kyle covers the line. Kyle's still out in front, but here comes Tucker on the downhill.
Tucker
and now they got lappers.
And Pauline checks up a bit over the AMSOIL finish line. Tucker has the preferred line. Can Pauline shut the door?
Oh, contact!
They made contact, and Tucker Hibbert takes the lead. The T-Train through lap traffic is now your leader in Duluth.
I tell you what, Kyle is lucky that he was able to hold on there. That sled that he kind of bumped into was almost a saving grace, if you will, to keep him from going off the track. Let's look again how it happened. They were coming down into the corner, and, you know, Kyle out in front got out a little deep. It gave Tucker an opportunity to come down underneath. Tucker gonna maybe give him a little nudge. That happened.
No doubt.
You know, as you see, out he went, and like I said, that sled kept Kyle Pauline from going off track.
I think you're right. Tucker Hibbert, meanwhile, comes away with the lead, and he's in the cat corner. It took him 9 laps to do it, but the patience was the virtue, and the lead is his. Tucker Hibbert, your leader, 10 laps into this race, and headed for the AMSOIL finish line. The 9-time champion is there again.
And now Tucker's doing exactly what he's best at. Here's the race. This is a pass between Cody Cam and his former teammate Justin Broberg for 4th place. Cam on the new Polaris. Broberg going from Polaris to Artie Cat. Broberg holds on to the position. He's still in 3rd place.
Cody Cam's been fast every night here in Duluth, and always fast on this track. He goes to the inside. He makes the pass. Cody Cam up to 4th place right now. 1 spot from the podium. The man in front of him keeping him off the podium right now is Ross Martin.
And so Cody Cam's going to make a charge that try to get around another one of the new Polarises, Ross Martin. Martin has been in 3rd place since early on in the race. The battle was between Tucker and Kyle Pauline. Then it was Ross Martin. Martin right now is about almost 3 seconds ahead of Kyle Pauline, and we're starting to count down laps.
Cody Cam is reeling him in a bit, though. Right there, meanwhile, is your leader in the lap traffic, making his way inside the number 11 right there of Tim Tremblay, who's had a tough race for him. Must have had a mechanical. But again, here comes Tucker Hibbert right there as they head up the Air Force flyaway.
Tremblay running in 14th place. It's a lot different than it was last night at this time. That's for sure.
A big roost into the face of the leader as he is heavily into lap traffic right now, trying to find his way around without giving up the lead. But Tucker Hibbert has been here before, and he's here again. We are 14 laps into this final race, and Tucker Hibbert is your leader.
Got Peter Narsa right ahead of him trying to get around. Here's the distance between Cam and Ross Martin. That interval now between those two is only 0.8 of a second. So Cody Cam running that last lap about a half second faster than what Ross Martin was. Cam charging hard.
Cody Cam running laps almost as fast as your leader right now. Just 0.2 of a second slower than Tucker Hibbert on that last lap. And this is the all-important podium spot. 3rd place stands on the podium. 4th place goes back to the trailer.
Ross trying to cover the line. Look at Cam. Cam is going to be very, very aggressive. He always is. I mean, this is called air it out. I want to get on that podium first race of the year. Back down underneath. Watch them. They're down in that 1 and 2 corners, the uphill. Watch Cody. Cody, especially on the uphills and the downhill, he is just going to air it out.
And a lapper slows Ross Martin up just a bit. Let's see if Cody Cam can take advantage of it. Again, this is the battle for 3rd and 4th. Ross Martin is the man in 3rd right now on the 837. Cody Cam right behind him on the 53. Looks to the outside, coming towards the AMSOIL finish line. Cam in the air, tries to take the spot. It's outside for Cam, inside for Ross Martin. The swoop move for Cam, and up the hill they go.
Boy, Martin thought he may be going to rail all the way around the outside and tried to cover the line. Cody pulled a fast one, tried to come down back underneath, and looked like he may be able to get by Ross, but Ross able to cover the line and still out in front. Oh, Cody dragging it a little bit up there in the corner.
lost a little distance. It's still Martin sitting in third, but I'll tell you what, Cody Cam right there.
Here he comes, the laps tick away, and there goes third. Cody Cam with a power move to the inside, takes over the third spot from Ross Martin.
Martin not close enough to try to counter, so Cody now able to position himself. Now Ross is going to have to step up. If Ross wants to be on the podium, he's going to need to do what Cody Cam's doing. I mean, he's going to have to run with some reckless abandon.
We are just 2 laps from the finish, and right now it looks like this. Cam in third, Pauline in second, and there is your leader, the 9-time champion, starting off the brand new season the way he wanted to, way out in front. It's a 5.5-second lead for Tucker Hibbert right now as he heads for the AMSOIL finish line and the white flag. 1 lap left for the T-Train, Mike.
You know, you got to look at Tucker, but I'll tell you what, Kyle Pauline has been gallant here too. His lap time's been equal to or a little faster than Tucker towards the end. You see him working his way around. He's still out in second place. He's got about a 5-second lead over third place Cody Cam, and should hold on to the position. You know, it may not be a win, but I'll tell you what, it's going to score well for him.
Around the turn and down the hill he comes for another win here at Duluth. The 9-time champion has done it again. Tucker Hibbert wins round 1 in Duluth. Kyle Pauline will come across in second. And it looks like Cody Cam will hang on and take that final podium spot in third. Let's take a break and we'll come right back and talk to the T-Train. Tucker Hibbert has done it again. We'll find out how right after this. You're watching AMSOIL Championship Snowcross powered by Ram on the CBS Sports Network. And we are racing. AMSOIL Pro Open is on the track. Tucker Hibbert over the AMSOIL finish line takes the lead. But just for a second, Pauline has the inside. Who will win the drag race up the hill? Pauline back to the lead. And Pauline checks up a bit over the AMSOIL finish line. Tucker has the preferred line. Can Pauline shut the door?
Contact!
They make contact. And Tucker Hibbert takes the lead. Around the turn and down the hill he comes for another win here at Duluth. The 9-time champion has done it again. Tucker Hibbert wins round 1 in Duluth.
Congratulations, Tucker. A great win to start the season. We had to pull you away from your crew. Take the fans inside that conversation. What were you guys talking about?
Just going through the race and just a lot of laughs. You know, I got a great team, great group of people that support me and help me get to the spot I'm at, and I couldn't do it without them. And new guy Dan on the team, hooking it up. Dan Ebert, he did a great job. My dad, the whole Monster Energy, Arctic Cat, Ram Truck team, been working hard. The track was pretty brutal out there. It was tough, and Kyle was running some fast laps right away, and just kind of paced him and waited for the right time, and it worked out. It was good.
We talked about this new qualifying rule, the inverted start. You said you wanted to see how it would play out. What are your thoughts after experiencing this for the first time?
Well, you know, obviously I'm happy to get the win for sure. It's a little bit weird, you know, the way that we're doing the qualifying and lining up, but it's still a race. You know, you got to get the start, you got to get all the way to the finish, and it's the same for everybody. So I'm sure, you know, different tracks, it'll be different, and it'll play itself out throughout the year, but at the end, you know, we just got to keep plugging away and working hard, and I think we'll end up on top.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to the booth.
So, Mike, more of the same. Tucker Hibbert with the win, but the point standings show it's still very close. It's early in the season. We had a great night of racing.
Early in the season, that's going to be a big thing for the rest of the people in this field, not to let Tucker run away. That's huge. So right now, he's got a 3-point lead over Cody Cam, 4 points over Kyle Pauline, and you can see the points right there. Don't let him get too far out so that he can run and hide. You got to be competitive all year long.
Cody Cam and Kyle Pauline very, very fast tonight, and they're going to be very fast all year. And speaking of all year, let's take a look at it. Again, we race here in Duluth one more time before we go to Fargo for the Snowcross National on December 11th and 12th. And then we're on to Shakopee, Minnesota, the biggest race of the year, January 8th and 9th. On to Deadwood, January 22nd and 23rd. February 5th and 6th, the U.S. Air Force Snowcross Nationals in Salamanca, New York. February 26th and 27th, we go to Mount Pleasant, Michigan. Then we go to Chicago area for the Hollywood Casino Snowcross National March 4th and 5th. And we wrap up the year March 18th through 20th in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. And don't forget, you can follow all the action online on your social media outlets, facebook.com/CBS /ISOCACSS, on Twitter.com at /Snocross, Instagram.com at /ISOCRacing, and YouTube.com /RaceISOC. Lots of great racing on tap for the rest of the year. For Carly Applin, Mike Schroeder, my name is Chris Hockey, and for scores, highlights, features, and more, check out CBSSports.com. Thanks for tuning in to AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram.